Are we on the brink of another government shutdown? Senate Democrats are gearing up to block the House GOP's latest spending bill. What's driving this high-stakes standoff, and what does it mean for all of us? In today's video, we're diving deep into the brewing budget battle in Washington, D.C. With a potential government shutdown looming, understanding the dynamics between Senate Democrats and House Republicans is more crucial than ever. We'll break down the key issues, the political maneuvers at play, and the possible outcomes that could impact the nation. Recently, the House of Representatives, under Republican leadership, passed a continuing resolution, or CR, aimed at funding the government through the end of September. This bill proposes maintaining current funding levels, but includes slight increases for defense and immigration and customs enforcement budgets, offset by cuts in non-defense spending. House Speaker Mike Johnson and his Republican colleagues have championed this bill as a necessary measure to ensure national security and fiscal responsibility. They argue that prioritizing defense and immigration enforcement is essential in the current global landscape. However, this approach has not been without controversy. On the other side of the aisle, Senate Democrats, led by Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, have voiced strong opposition to the House GOP's spending bill. Their primary concerns include partisan drafting, as Democrats criticize the bill for being crafted without their input, labeling it a partisan move that undermines bipartisan cooperation. Schumer has emphasized the need for a clean, continuing resolution that allows for genuine negotiation and compromise. Another major concern is budget allocations. The proposed increases in defense and ICE funding come at the expense of non-defense spending. Democrats argue that such cuts could harm essential services and programs that millions of Americans rely on daily. They believe that a more balanced approach is necessary to address the nation's needs effectively. The urgency of this debate is underscored by the ticking clock. Current government funding is set to expire this Friday night. Without an agreement, a partial government shutdown could ensue, leading to furloughs of federal workers, with hundreds of thousands of employees deemed non-essential being temporarily laid off, disrupting services and livelihoods. Various government services, from national parks to processing of certain applications, could be halted, affecting citizens nationwide. Government shutdowns often lead to economic ripple effects, shaking consumer confidence and potentially impacting markets. The blame game has already begun. House Speaker Mike Johnson has accused Democrats of playing political games, suggesting that their refusal to support the bill is a tactic to force a shutdown for political gain. He argues that the GOP's proposal is a reasonable solution to keep the government running while addressing key priorities. In contrast, Schumer and Senate Democrats are advocating for a clean, continuing resolution that extends funding through mid-April. This approach, they argue, would provide ample time for both parties to negotiate a more comprehensive and bipartisan funding package. Schumer has stated that the House bill's partisan nature and the proposed cuts to essential services make it unacceptable in its current form. As the deadline approaches, the question remains, can a compromise be reached to avert a shutdown? Several scenarios could unfold. Both parties could return to the negotiating table to draft a new continuing resolution that addresses the concerns of both sides. This would require concessions from both Democrats and Republicans, but could lead to a more balanced and acceptable funding bill. Another possibility is a short-term funding extension, which could provide additional time for negotiations without the immediate threat of a shutdown. This approach has been used in the past to prevent disruptions while discussions continue. If no agreement is reached, a partial government shutdown would occur, leading to the consequences outlined earlier. This outcome is generally undesirable for both parties, as it can lead to public dissatisfaction and economic challenges. This isn't the first time we've faced such a standoff. Government shutdowns have occurred in the past, often resulting from similar budgetary disagreements. The longest shutdown in United States history lasted 35 days between 2018 and 2019, stemming from disagreements over funding for a border wall. The impasse led to significant disruptions and highlighted the challenges of partisan divisions. Another shutdown in 2013 lasted 16 days due to disputes over the Affordable Care Act, affecting numerous federal operations and services. These historical examples serve as reminders of the real-world impacts that political stalemates can have on citizens and the economy. Government shutdowns often lead to public frustration, with citizens blaming one or both parties for the impasse. The political fallout can be significant, influencing upcoming elections and altering the balance of power. Both parties are acutely aware of these stakes as they navigate the current situation. In times like these, cooperation and compromise are essential. While differing ideologies and priorities are inherent in a democratic system, finding common ground is crucial to ensure the government functions effectively for its citizens. As the deadline approaches, all eyes are on Washington to see if our leaders can rise above partisan divides and act in the nation's best interest. Stay tuned to our channel for the latest updates on this developing story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay informed about all our future content. Thank you for watching. Check out our other videos on current political events and policy analyses.